doing something very special today. We are having a live stream, as you see, we're on Twitch right now, with a bunch of special guests from the ElixirConf 2022. I almost said 2020. Oh my gosh. 2022 is the year. And so the conference will be in Aurora, Colorado at the end of the month, going into the beginning of September. Oh, and if you can grab the actual dates for me, that would be lovely.
August 30th through September 2nd.
Thank you. And here, my lovely co-host, Owen Bickford, and our first special guest, Max McClure. How are you doing, Max?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah, did we get a sneak peek, or like, what's it about? What's the talk about?
Sure. Who wants to start with that? Yeah. I'll take a quick crack at it, but I will say that this has been Jeffrey's idea for years, and he had gotten to put a lot of work into it with another collaborator, Adi, who was also working at Community at the time, and they found a ton of blind alleys and what not to do. And by the time we all regrouped together, we were able to actually make this work in about the span of a week. But that also, like, that's the tip of the iceberg. There's like 9 months of R&D beneath that for figuring out what to do. But that's a lot of sandbagging. What does it do? We have a documentation problem for maintaining a lot of our endpoints for existing large API, and the maintenance of that is pretty manual and ad hoc, and eventually has a lot of cobwebs. But we are pretty militant testers, and we have extremely good test coverage, especially on all of our endpoints. So how do we get all of that into a representation that is intelligible to a front-end developer or someone less technical in a product? So we landed on open API specifications and have some pretty nifty metaprogramming magic that will grab plug cons off of tests, drink up all of that information, and slowly accumulate a full specification from that.
It's really cool.
So one sentence explanation is it uses your test to write open API specs.
Bingo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jeffrey's better at this.
You know, Natalie, did I meet you at MPEX?
I think so.
This is like so awkward. I think I had the best photo I took at MPEX might have been with you.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I think I
We need
just
to
remember
track
this.
photo
You've
down.
you've got a really distinct glasses shape, and I was like, this is very familiar. I'm so sorry I didn't put that together until just
No,
now.
that's okay. We need to find this picture though.
Yes, I will totally find that. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I mean, no, we're a small community. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. I look different on Zoom, you know.
Yeah, with and without legs. This is what I'm saying. It's a big difference. So Nikki, I've asked, or well, I haven't asked everyone, but you know, you just joined, so I'm gonna spotlight you. What other talks are you looking forward to?
What
outside of yours?
Other talks? Oh my god. I know that Mex and I have talked about there's another talk that sounds like there's going to be a bit of overlap with ours. So we're like, yes, we must go and listen to that one. But I'm forgetting what the title is right now. But like, it's also about training up juniors. But it sounds like, if I remember correctly, it's from a like other side of this, the other perspective of doing the training, and we're talking about being trained in what we've learned. So if we can make going to that one work, I feel like it'd be really interesting. I know when we first saw it, we were like, gasp, it's almost like ours.
I found it. It's called Onboarding New Elixir Members.
There we go.
Okay, cool. And who's the speaker?
DeWet Blummeris.
Oh yeah.
It's possible I butchered their name, but
I believe we've seen that name pop up in the Twitterverse. Yeah, for sure. But these two answers are reminding me, you know, in the TV shows when they like split up the two people and see if they come up with the same story. You totally both answered the same.
Yeah,
Nikki and I hang out a lot.
I mean, it's something on our mind, of course, but I'm just so curious because like I really want to hear what they have to say and like what aligns and whatever. Like, yeah.
Oh, I just realized, Jeff, Natalie, that your talk has a little bit of a pun. Connect the dots. See you. Who came up with that name?
100%
Natalie.
credit to Natalie.
Thanks. Yeah, it just kind of dropped out of the sky.
Yeah, the previous incarnation was very badly named because we were trying to start the project as we started going, or like as we were like, oh crap, we gotta make a repo. What should it be called? It was tests to docs, and it was terrible. And then basically what happened was after working on this and noodling on this idea for a long time, we had a hackathon week at work. We call it Innovation Week, and I convinced Natalie and Jeff that it would be a good opportunity. I actually asked for their help to get it done earlier, but it was something we kind of had to do in our spare time. And we talked about it and convinced that we should do do that, like try to knock something out in our hackathon week. And that's when Natalie suggested a significantly better name. So yeah.
Gotta love a pun.
Jeffrey, when did your cat? Oh my god, that is the fluffiest cat.
Is that
I've
a real
ever
cat?
seen.
Is it real?
That face.
Is he gonna be okay?
Yeah, this is Bear.
Oh
Bear,
my
say hi.
goodness.
Aptly named.
Yeah.
How
He
much
is,
brushing do you have to do?
The good news is he likes to be brushed. So
Oh,
yeah, you're not comfortable, are you, buddy? So he's a ragdoll and has absolutely no spine.
Uh-huh.
Which is why he's currently just chilling out like this.
We talked to Brooklyn on the podcast not months ago, like Max. I think it was actually longer than a few months ago. Truly, not just, it didn't just feel like it. Brooklyn hadn't started talking about using Livebook to teach yet. And so I'm actually really excited to hear what Brooklyn's been up to since then, because the conversation we had with Brooklyn was so great. It was a lot about the different ways that a newbie Elixirist would approach learning Elixir in like today's environment, or today being yesterday's environment, because I think it was last year.
It was, yeah.
And I mean, Brooklyn really does a great job of summarizing talks and blog posts and episodes of anything. And it's exactly how I would take notes if I were to do it myself. So it's kind of like getting the Spark Notes of the Elixir world just from Brooklyn. And I've always said that Livebook would be an absolutely phenomenal way of teaching Elixir. So I'm actually curious, Nikki and Max, what you think about Livebook. I would probably suggest you guys go to this talk too. It's an interesting thing to think about, that Livebook is just like a quick running Elixir example. You press run, it does it right in the browser. So I'm really looking forward to this one for sure.
I think I think I can speak for Max, maybe not, but I hadn't heard of Livebook until like a little while ago, because we've just been focusing on using live view and stuff and not really exploring much other than that. And so it was fun. It was kind of funny because we were working on our current project, and we wanted to make a little thing that renders all the components and stuff in like one nice place, sort of like Storybook. And I jokingly was like, we should call it Livebook. That makes sense, right? And then we were like, oh, that exists already. So that's how I discovered.
Oh, you found it organically?
That
oh
would be
gosh.
hilarious. That would be hilarious. If you guys create like a Livebook like at the agency, and then like, oh wait, we also want to use Livebook.
Oh,
so
no.
we were like, okay, can't use that word. Never mind.
I want to welcome Christian to the call. Hey, Christian, how you doing?
Hello. Thank you very much.
Christian, where are you calling in from?
I'm in the Chicago suburbs. I work for cars.com.
Also known as Original Live View is how I think of that. You were one of the first, right, to use Live View in production?
We started Live View before it was even a public repository, you know.
Before it was cool. We're the originals.
Right.
Nice, nice. And so what is your talk going to be on? And can you give us a little preview, a little teaser?
Yeah, sure. My talk is titled "Have You Got the X Factor? Writing a Refactor Helper." So what I set out to do was to replicate a tool that exists in IntelliJ to refactor a function. Basically, point at a function, pull it out, move it somewhere else, and then update all the calling sites so that they use that new reference. And I wrote that as a library called X Factor in Elixir.
I've been doing it wrong. I've been searching and replacing and just moving things manually. So that sounds very interesting.
That's what I've done a lot too. You know,
Right.
it's pretty effective. I mean, I spent a couple months doing this tool, so I don't know, like balance out, right? Who
Yeah.
spent their time better?
It's fun when you do that the manual search game and then realize that functions have been aliased or delegated to different things and
Mhm.
tracing that through. So that tool sounds phenomenally just
Yes.
insanely useful.
I feel like every developer has a breaking point where the manual just isn't cutting it anymore. Christian, what was the breaking point for you? Like, what were you doing obsessively or over and over again where you were just like, I got to stop this. I got to make a thing.
Actually, so it's curious that Jeff mentioned delegate. It was actually working on a big delegation refactoring. We had this giant context module in our application that was like over 2,000 lines, I think. And I said, no, this will not stand. I must break this up into different appropriate contexts. And I did that ended up creating 40, 60 def delegates from the original module into the new one. So because I didn't want to do the find and replace game on all the calling sites originally. So it's like, let's see if I can figure this out in how to do this with Elixir. And kind of, but delegate is actually an interesting point. I have to add a test case for that because I didn't think about adding def delegate in as a test case in the new library. So
That's what Jeff is here for.
that's right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let my stub toes be a lesson for all of you. Happy to help.
I was just gonna say, for what it's worth, Christian, Jeff ruins all my successes too. So,
Oh,
I mean, someone's got to rain
Stress
on
test.
rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Stress test. Rain on the happy path a little bit.
Natalie?
Yeah, I'm really excited to learn again, just being at a conference again, but also to hopefully teach something or at least have folks walk away with one idea. And being in that role this time is going to be really exciting. As Nikki said, pretty nervous, but once it's over, I'm sure we're all going to feel really good.
I'm looking forward to meeting my co-presenter. And yeah, excited for Christian's breakdown, and I hope to be part of Zach's hallway track conversation because I've got some other stories of suboptimal shelling out to bad things all the time in Elixir, and it lets you get away with that. And I've got some horror stories that I'd love to contribute. But yeah, thank you so much for having us. It's been a lot of fun getting to meet a lot of y'all before the conference, and I'm looking forward to meeting everyone and just having a social collegial relationship with the broader little C community, but also excited for the big C.
Nice. Max, how about you? What are you looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to giving my first talk. I'm so grateful to be doing it with Nikki. We've been experiencing a lot of firsts together the past year and a half or so. I'm excited about that. And as I kind of mentioned at the beginning today, a bit introverted and shy, so I'm really glad I got to meet people here as sort of a preemptive introduction. So I do enjoy meeting new people, so please reach out, and love to get some food and just connect with people in the Elixir community. It's been a really fun getting to know people, and it has a different sparkle compared to other tech communities that I've been in. So I've really enjoyed it. So looking forward to more of that.
Such a good way to put it. I really love that. The sparkle. So sparkling on to Owen. got it? Who got it?
Sparkle. Can't wait to start sparkling at ElixirConf. Yeah, so I guess I've got a handful of talks I'm looking forward to watching. Like equally excited just to hang out in the hallway and after parties and hotel lobbies, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I guess when in doubt, if you see some people you're going to talk to, just walk up and say, start a discussion about whether dynamic or static types are the way to go. Conversation will ensue.
No, you're trapping people right now.
Yeah.
What a
that
troll.
will be
I
a
thought that was
lively
Jeff's job.
discussion. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Cool. So yeah, thank you again to all of our guests for coming today. I think the thing I'm looking forward to is actually getting a chance to sit and listen to the talks. I feel like usually I'm running around preparing for my talk or helping. I forgot to give somebody my HDMI input thingy, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna run and I missed something. But I will really be in the room because, fun fact for everyone who got to tune into the end of this, me and Amos King will be emceeing the conference. So that's going to be a fun time. I saved that till the end so that we could actually get to have a teaser, So I don't think it's been
Yay.
announced yet. So I figure I'll just mention it here. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. That's going to be my first time emceeing, and I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, it's been a really fun time. I'm so excited that we all got a chance to chat and sort of feel out the room. Now we're familiar with some faces, so we can jump in and just get going once we get to Aurora, not Denver. Sorry, been saying it wrong this whole time. Aurora. Sweet. So that's it for today's live stream brought to you by Elixir Wizards. Thank you for all of our guests for joining. I'm Sundi. My co-host is Owen. Elixir Wizards is a podcast produced by Hanger Studios and is brought to you by SmartLogic. Here at SmartLogic, we build custom web and mobile software. We work in Elixir, Rails, React, Flutter, and more. And if you need a piece of custom software built, please let us know. And otherwise, come say hi to us. We're also sponsoring ElixirConf, so we'll be around. We'll be there to chat. And to everyone watching at home, I hope to see you soon on the webs. Thank you.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Everybody sparkle.
Oh man, we've replaced jazz hands. Oh dear.
Yes.